Hello and welcome back to Simple Life with Rob Pusateri. So the thing I want to go over today, I've had some discussions with other people, and one of the things that a lot of my friends and family struggle with is anxiety, fear, worry, and things like that. And I put out another video last week about how to overcome that supernaturally, possibly through understanding who we are in Christ and things like that. So anyway, one of the things that kind of hit me also was your body health and your gut health. So I'm just going to read this little thing. I Googled this. You can Google it and see it yourself because I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be one. But this is what I found on Google this morning. I just want to share this with you. And this has to do with probiotics. And I personally like to do everything natural. It's just who I am. So if I can do it naturally, I'm going to go there. So let me read this real quick. It says that experts believe microorganisms living in your gut, including probiotics, play a crucial role in the GBA, whatever that means. And they do it by producing and expressing neurotransmitters that can affect appetite, mood, sleep habits, reducing inflammation in your body, which can contribute to depression. So having a healthy gut, having the right, the probiotics, they boost your mood and cognitive function, and it lowers stress and anxiety. This is straight off of Google, which we all know Google's always right. But but check this out. The gut, we don't understand how important this is. The gut produces melatonin, serotonin, and other hormones, which completely affect your mood, depression, sleep habits, all that stuff. So this stuff is really important. So how can we boost our gut? I mean, do you even know that you have an issue with your gut? Well, the chances are, if you're eating sugar, foods that are high on the glycemic index, the breads, the bleached flour, the white bread, pizza, cereal, donuts, cakes, cookies, pies, and all that fun stuff like I used to eat. Not only did that stuff cause me to become atherosclerotic, I hope I said that word right, and lead to me having a heart attack. Not only did it do that, but what I didn't know is, through eating all that trash, it destroys your gut flora, the walls of your intestines and things like that. Diet sodas, all that stuff is just so bad for you. It ruins your gut, which just messes with your brain and everything. So I want to go over real quick. What do I do to help boost my gut health? Well, first of all, I cut all the sugars out. I have less than 10 grams of added sugars per day, typically about 5. So they're gone. I eat foods that are low on the glycemic index. Now, check this out. This is fermented zucchini that I grew in my garden. So this is like organic zucchini I grew in my garden. And this is, let me get this out of the way. This is my homemade sauerkraut, which I did not grow the cabbage in my garden. I struggle with growing cabbage. I fail at it year after year, so I gave up. And I just go purchase a couple heads of cabbage and do it that way. So here we have the cabbage, here we have the zucchini, which I had a massive amount. So let's talk about how easy this is. With the zucchini, I simply sliced up the zucchini, cubed it up, sliced it up, and put it in a mason jar. And then I mixed up 2 tablespoons of pink Himalayan kosher type salt. Don't use trashy salt, use good salt. Per quart of water. I'm pretty certain that's the formula. If not, just Google it. I believe it says 1 to 3 tablespoons of salt per quart of purified filtered water. Don't use your tap water, use purified stuff. And you mix that up real good and you just pour it in there. So this has zucchini, some dill, a couple cloves of fresh garlic that I just smashed and threw in there. And that's it. It's that simple. And I bring the zucchini up to about here, about an inch, inch and a half, inch and a quarter down from the very top. And then I fill up the water up to the very top of the zucchini. And then I take these glass weights. You can get these from Mason Tops. Take this glass weight and it sits right on top of it and holds it about yay far. Keeps all of your veggie down below the top of the water, the salt water. And then sometimes I use these Mason Tops. They basically sit on top of the jar, and the ring, you take this, it's just this and then the ring. You don't use the lid. Or there's times that I just use the lid and just don't tighten it all the way. Just bring it down so it's almost snug, back off a little bit. And what happens is as the sugars change over, I won't get into all the technical stuff, but as the sugars change over, it produces, I believe, carbon dioxide, and that destroys the oxygen that's in the jar. And it expands in there, so you're going to let those gases off. I'll just almost tight, maybe back off just a little bit, so that these lids, so the gas escapes. If I go in and check it, if your lids are popping up, it means you got this on too tight, and the gases can't escape. So let them off, burp them once a day, whatever. Anyway, I did this in a pantry cabinet for usually about 9 to 10 days. Depends on if it's hotter out. I did it when it was 73 degrees in the house during the summer. So I only went 8 or 9 days. I just feel like they start to get too mushy. But what happens is everything changes in there and the probiotics come to life, especially after about 3 days. And now you have probiotics. So what do I do then? Obviously, with the sauerkraut, you want to heat that up a little bit. So eat that with something, whatever. I've been using it with my salmon. I've been grilling salmon. And then I'll take a pot, and you just want to barely warm the stuff up. If you take this more than, I believe it's 110 or 115 degrees, it kills the probiotics. So you just want to warm it up in a pan. Don't use a microwave. Don't ever use a microwave. But heat this up in a little pot or a little pan. Just warm it up a little bit on the stove, and then put it as a side dish for your salmon. It's fantastic. If you're into eating, like we'll eat organic chicken sausages and things like that. And I'll just put this right on top of those chicken sausages with some nice, good organic mustard. And it's a fantastic meal. And what it does is it heals your gut. And through healing your gut, it heals your brain. It just does so much for you. I can't express how good something like this is for you. A little bit, a quarter cup a day. These I will eat usually about 10 o'clock in the morning. This tastes like a kosher dill to me. It's called pickling, old-fashioned pickling. It's just salt water. So I will eat a few of these, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 chunks, with a couple pieces of cheddar cheese, or Colby Jack cheese or something like that, and a more healthy cracker, just as a little snack to hold me over on 10 o'clock in the morning. It holds me over until I eat my massive salad for lunch. Now, one of the things I also want to say is once these get to the point of being finished, being fermented, again, squash goes about 8 or 9 days, maybe 10. This goes for a month. The sauerkraut goes for a month. And there's a whole lot of educational videos out there to learn, how to, the whole fermentation process. Bunch of stuff out there. You can get on a government website which will give you a bunch of, the perfect pointers of how to do this stuff and keep it healthy. And once that process is finished, and yes, every now and then you will get a little bit of white mold that starts to grow on top of your glass weight up on top. You just take a spoon it off, throw it in the trash, leave it alone, leave your glass weight in there, and put it back in the cabinet. It'll be fine. That white mold it's not bad for you. It won't hurt you at all. You don't want it to turn black or green and all that, and you don't want it to smell funky. But that white mold, just a little bit of white hair, just scrape it off, throw it in the trash, and put your lid back on, put it back in the cabinet, and let it finish its fermenting. Once it's done, your sauerkraut goes for about a month, and the other veggies go for about 8, 9, 10 days. Once that's finished, put your lid on tight, and stick it in the fridge. This stuff lasts for months in the refrigerator. I did all this back in, you can see the date on here. This is August 21st. Today it's October, mid-October. So they will last, they say 4, 6 months, sometimes a year in the refrigerator. I would look on the government website for that. I'm not going to give you any pointers on that, but all I know is I'm going to be eating the pickled zucchini. I will be eating that until spring of next year. So I plan on going for the long haul. I overall did probably 40 jars of the zucchini and yellow squash pickles. So anyway, this heals your gut. It helps with mood, sleep, cognitive function, just so many things. With stress, it helps to fight against stress and anxiety. It calms you. It makes you healthier. Trust me, you don't want stress in your life. I'm all about getting the stress out of your life. That's what this channel is called Simple Life. If you can get rid of that stress and the anxiety, then you are going to get rid of the things that your body produces, the adrenaline and things like that, which actually cause your arteries to become brittle if you're stressed out all the time, and which you can end up with heart disease and coronary artery disease. Why do I know this? Because I had a heart attack. I know a lot about this stuff now. I've studied a lot of this. So reduce your stress and enjoy it. I mean, if you don't like sauerkraut, I'm sorry. Try to find something else that you may like more. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can ferment. I've seen people put whole garlic cloves in a jar and cover it with honey, nice raw fresh honey, and let that sit for a year. There's just so many different things you can do for fermenting. Store-bought ferments, store-bought sauerkraut, you're going to find that stuff was pasteurized. It was cooked. They raised the temperature in the cooking process with that, and it kills the probiotics. So get yourself some mason jars. You sell them everywhere. Get yourself some mason jars and have a little bit of fun. Do something productive and make your own ferments. So anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling. God bless y'all, and we will see you on the next one. But please remember to subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions the best that I can. And please share this with your friends so we can all enjoy life a little bit better together. God bless y'all.